Hello, everyone. This is Isabel from the Cairns Student Hub, and today I'm joined by Danny and Mateja from Migration Plus, an immigration agency here in Cairns. And today we'll be talking about the financial capacity requirement for the student visa. So welcome to Danny and Mateja.
Thank
you. Thank you. Mateja, my first question would be, would you be able to explain what the financial capacity requirement is for the student visa?
So financial capacity requirement is an essential requirement under any student visa application that the visa applicants must meet. And the purpose of it is for the students that when they come to Australia, that they have sufficient funds to support themselves and to pay for their course, and if they have family members, to support themselves as well.
And what is the type of evidence or that they need to prove?
So the financial capacity requirements basically has three parts. So the student visa applicants have to provide evidence, firstly, that they can pay for the tuition fees for their course in Australia. And they also have to have sufficient funds to support their living costs while in Australia for that first year, and also to pay for the travel expenses to come to Australia, or if they're in Australia already, to return home.
And so you mentioned that for the first year, but what happens if it's less than 1 year that studies?
So basically, students have to work out, or there's a formula to calculate the funds required pro rata, depending on how long they're going to be in Australia, how long is the course, and how much that course costs.
All right. Anyway, we're going to put here a table where you can see the details of the range. That way you can have an idea for 12 months how much the government is requiring, and then you can calculate, depends on how long it's going to be your stay in Australia and the length of the studies. So you mentioned that is for the main applicant, but what happens if they're coming with a family, maybe with a partner or with kids?
So the requirement is to also provide additional funds for the living, for cost for the family members that come with them. And also if there are children included between 5 commencing studies, school, or up to 18, also to cover for their study expenditure during that first year.
Okay, that is something important to mention, because if you're bringing your family, your kids, there is like a request that, of course, if the kid is over 5 years, they need to go to the school, and it's when you need to provide the financial evidence that you can pay for that.
Absolutely, very important, yes.
And just to follow up on that, just to clarify, is this financial capacity requirement also, is it just for people applying outside of Australia, or is it also for people applying in Australia?
It is for every student visa applicant. So there are two important distinctions. Every student visa applicant has to declare on the visa application that they have access to these funds. Depending on the college, on which country they are coming from, there may be different requirements whether they have to mandatory provide that evidence at the time of lodgement.
Okay.
But the department may always ask any visa applicant to provide evidence of that financial capacity. So it's really important that you get right advice, that you have that evidence available.
So basically every applicant should make sure that they can prove that they've got the financial capacity, whether it's been asked at the beginning or not. They might be asked later on.
Correct. And importantly, the department may not ask for additional evidence, and they may just refuse your visa. So that's why it's really important that you understand what the requirements are and that you have that evidence available.
Yeah. And for those ones that are especially coming from outside of Australia, even the department is asking or no or whatever, it's really important to have that financial capacity, because you don't know how it's going to be your journey here in Australia. Under a student visa, you are allowed to work, which is great, but you need to keep in mind that your priority is your studies. So having this financial capacity will allow you to set up in Australia and be focused on what is important in your case, that is the studies.
Yes.
And also important to note is that students, even once they get a student visa and then arrive in Australia, they're not allowed to commence working until their course starts. So having access to funds is very important.
Yes.
So there is another question now that you mentioned about access. How they can prove the financial support? What is the type of evidence that they need to show that they have that money available?
So basically, visa applicants has to provide evidence that they have genuine access to these funds, whether this is in terms of having funds on their bank account, whether they have a student loan or any other loan, or if they have support from their partner, for example, or parents. That is also possible, but there are very strict rules, and that's why it's very important to get proper advice to be able to ensure that they have the right evidence, and whatever evidence that they have meets the requirements that the government is expecting from them.
Yes, it's acceptable to
correct.
The assessors. Yeah.
Yes, because it's not just to show that you have the money like a magically appear. You need to as well provide evidence that is a genuine.
The students must have access to these funds when they need them. It's not just a promise from a family member or a statement or different documents. The government really wants to know that the funds are available to students when they need them.
Whenever needed.
Whenever they need it.
That's right.
Okay. So we have Migration Plus has created a fact sheet with a more specific information about those requirements. Please contact us. We are more than happy to share with you this information. You can find our contact details in the description of the video. And that way you can have more specific information about the requirements and how these apply in general speaking.
And we also are very happy to offer students in Cairns complimentary consultation for the next student visa, or if they need advice about their circumstances, to contact us, and we'll be very happy to help.
Thank you very much. And talking about you being there to help the students, how can they actually get in touch with you? How can they find your contact details? And
the best way to contact us is to send us an email at visa@Migration Plus, or contact Isabel at Student Hub, or Danny on our phone number 40412620. And we will tell you what we would recommend you send us for our initial review, and then we'll schedule consultation and try to help you as much as possible.
Thank you, Mateja. And we'll also put all the contact details in the description of the video. So thank you very much for joining us today and for all the information. Extremely useful. And I hope it's been helpful to you who have been watching. Thank you, and we'll be back with another webinar in the next few weeks. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.